It is time to talk WandaVision episode 4, everyone. Ooh. And we've got some great people. I cannot state how big this episode is, boys and girls. But before we get into our guest, my co-host Ruben Guerrero is
Yes,
here.
that's right.
Braving, I can't even talk words correctly, Ruben. Braving the storm that is the winter storm up in the northeast. Ruben, are you doing okay up there?
It's very cold. My dad turned off the heat because he was like, "That's too much money." So I'm just freezing my ass off up here.
Well, I hope you're staying safe up there. I know after this last episode, you're probably not emotionally safe after what happened. But anyway, Ruben, enough about you. Jeez. We have some wonderful guests to get through. And if you're on Twitter, the internet, Reddit, wherever, if you're looking at the constellations outside, you know of these two. These two titans. For on the show, we have Internet Mel from Mel Fleets Her Tweets here, boys and girls. Mel, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm live. Never before happened, so I'm doing it.
So glad we could be the exclusive first live show for Internet Mel. The first of many, I would assume.
Just remember us when you're famous.
And in the opposite corner from her is a man. No, nay, Ruben. A myth. A legend, some would say. When you go into the Rocky Mountains and you stand outside, you can hear this man yell because of, echoes and acoustics and whatnot, Ruben. Science. The man from... He's the Stadia man, boys and girls. Aaron Cini, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to tell Mel why her name is fake and really get into all of her Marvel takes and how bad they are.
Wow.
How rude.
You asked for bloodshed, and here we are.
Listen,
Yes, this is what we wanted.
I didn't expect
wanted
it to
to
go
fight.
that hard.
Right out the
Mel's
gate.
best. She knows it. Right out the gates. You can fleet about it later. It's all right, Falker.
No, I keep you out of it.
Again, if you follow kind of funny, I can't speak any words today, Ruben. I don't know what it is. I'm just so nervous.
That's okay.
If you follow kind of funny, you know these two. These two argue. They bicker. They have fist fought once, head cannon in my head, and it was a draw. But we got them here to talk Marvel. And again, WandaVision episode 4. Man, what an episode!
I don't know.
And it barely featured Wanda and Vision. That's what's so crazy about it. It barely featured those two, and it arguably is the strongest episode so far this season.
I'm just upset. Sorry, Eric. I'm just upset we didn't get another commercial.
That is true.
The commercials have been pretty solid.
Yeah,
You got a part of one.
that doesn't count.
But before we get into our thoughts on the episode, I thought, like we've done with the last two episodes, we ask our guests what their favorite Marvel movie and character is. So, Aaron, we'll start with you first. What is your favorite MCU character and movie?
Okay, well, I was telling you before the show, this is a hard decision between Winter Soldier and Ragnarok. But I am going to say my favorite Marvel movie is Winter Soldier. But I will say my favorite Marvel character is Thor. I think his arc and journey through the whole thing is actually probably the most impressive as I've kind of gone back and processed it. And big shout out to Ragnarok for that, as well as the Endgame and Infinity War. His arc is just amazing. So Winter Soldier, best movie. Thor, best character.
And as I said last week, it's crazy how if you would have told me that Thor would be probably the most popular MCU character right now, I would have called you crazy. But it's insane how popular he is now, especially after the Dark World.
It's almost like saying Aquaman is going to be the biggest DCU character.
Yeah, but nobody believes that to ever happen. You know?
It's true. That's why I said almost, because I understand Thor's not in the comic realm and people that follow that. He's not talking to fish. I get that. But, I really thought it would be your Tony Stark or whatever. But no, Thor's arc was so good. It was so perfect. And him staying bro Thor at the end of Endgame is incredible.
Oh God, I just can't wait for Asgardians of the Galaxy. And that better be the
Yeah,
name of
that's gonna be
the
really
movie. It better
It's
be.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
No, I meant for
They've already
Asgardians.
named it.
For Guardians 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I'm pretty sure James Gunn's gonna call it Volume 3. 'Cause that's
I mean,
his
you
MO.
could still call it Volume 3, but like just change,
True.
put a piece of tape on Guardians that
Yeah.
just has the AS, you know?
it's just crazy to show what I know this sounds cliche thing, what a good writer and director can do for a character.
Yeah.
The way that Taika Waititi just changed Thor, is outstanding.
Into
And
such a lovable character.
speaking of, as we were talking on the pre-show, they've released some of the set photos for Thor: Love and Thunder, and let me tell you, Chris Hemsworth is now the envy of everyone with those triceps and back muscles right there.
That dude is jacked again. He's definitely losing the bro Thor look.
Which is upsetting.
It's weird that he still has kind of the long hair. I kind of hope he would go back to the short hair because he does look his best with short hair, according to my wife. So I hope that comes back.
According to me, I totally
mean-
agree.
Yeah, I also have to agree with that. I find him much more. How do I explain this? A character I can like understand better with the short hair. Not, I don't need him with a man bun. You know, that's just me. Yeah, that's all right. You heard it here first. I have a thing
Has
against.
he got a man
buns.
bun?
Not really, but like just a long hair. You know,
That's like the top ponytail thing over the rest of the. Listen, as somebody who's clearly follically challenged, I'm not about to start talking about what I think his hairstyle is.
I bet he'll have a man bun in this movie.
I hope not.
I can see it. A messy man.
Maybe
bun.
eating some avocado toast. Get him
Yeah.
there. All right, Mel, what is your favorite MCU movie and character?
So, movie, if you put Endgame and Infinity War aside, number 2 would be Winter Soldier. So, we stand Winter Soldier in this podcast. But number 1 is Guardians 2. I love that movie.
Just come on, man.
How do you go from?
I love it.
That was my face when she said that the first time. That 2 was the favorite. I just
Like,
It's just
from the moment it starts with little Groot dancing, there's that huge scene. Like, I am so happy to be there. Like, it's so good. And I love what they do with the characters. I think it's such a fun movie. Like, watching the first Guardians, I love that one too. I think it's like ranked like closely behind in my books. But like that one, it's a bit slower. You get to know the characters. And then all hell breaks loose in the second one. It's just so much fun. And I love it. It's a blast.
I mean that opening is incredible. You can't deny it. With little baby Groot dancing, they're fighting the giant monster, talking trash to each other. Rocket's trying to steal batteries. Like, no, I mean it's great, and I really hope we get to see some awesome Adam Warlock out of it after that setup. But
And then I'm crying at the end.
we just
So full circle.
you know what
It's
had a
beautiful.
better opening? Age of Ultron. Language. Come on, you know.
that is a really good opening. Actually, the
Oh.
attack on the base.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah. And then the whole like language and you get a lot of those like kind of jokes set up, and it does just start off being like, you wanted your Avengers, here they are being Avengers. That is a really good opening.
I don't know if we can bring it back to Winter Soldier again. The on your left bit is great.
God.
That could be my favorite opening.
Yeah. No.
I mean-
absolutely.
That takes us all the way to the end of the series, right?
Right.
Like
right. Oh my
Endgame, they
God.
call that back. Becomes like one of the most iconic lines on your left.
Good
Does
stuff.
I
anyone?
was trying to think of how
Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron. I cut you
how's
off.
Ragnarok open. That's terrible. No, that's okay.
Ragnarok is him in the base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good opening
He's in
too.
Muspelheim.
Him with the guy with the, he's spinning around and telling the
Yeah.
whole story. And like, I'm wondering how you got here. Yeah, that shit's hilarious.
And him stopping
that was
him
when I was
so he
like,
could
oh,
turn
we have
around.
a whole new Thor. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Hold on, just 1 second. I'm not gonna turn all the way around. I'm not that committed to the bit. Sorry.
That's okay.
Speaking of being committed to bits, so before we get started, does anyone have anything else to say?
I didn't say my favorite character.
That's right, Ruben. How dare you not ask Mel? Mel, who's
mean-
your favorite character?
Well,
So-
after your take on Guardians 2, do we need to keep going with it?
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So obviously, I love Thor. He's probably like favorite mainstream, but Talos from Captain Marvel, I love that character to death, and I am so excited to see him in like future stuff. I just think I love that character. I wish he got more stuff, so I'm excited he's going to.
Okay.
Isn't he
You
supposed
redeemed
to be
yourself. I
leading
like
the
that.
Secret Invasion show?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's part of it.
Yeah, Ben's Mickelson, or however you pronounce his last name. He's great in anything he does.
He's
so yeah, definitely.
fantastic.
Very great.
So, yeah,
And
I
that
agree
was
with you. Like that.
Easily one of
That
his.
was a good
Yeah,
character.
that was such a good role. Good pull, Mel. I'm proud of you.
I think she just looked that one up.
Thank you.
Okay, Ruben, we're supposed to stay unbiased here.
I'm just
I need
saying.
You to calm down.
I'm just saying. I think she just looked that up.
I'm a guest in your house.
You're right. You're right. My apologies.
Jeez. I'm so sorry, everyone, for Ruben's rudeness. So,
Unbelievable.
Is that a Marvel Cup?
no, it's my Destiny Cup.
Disappointed.
Let me get a little liquid courage right here.
There you go.
Did you just
Blah, blah, blah.
chug something and then chug another?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
Drinks on drinks on drinks.
Ruben,
Yes.
are you ready?
I was born ready.
Team Aaron, are you ready?
More prepared than Mel, that's for sure. Just kidding, Mel.
Team
I'm not
Internet Mel, are you ready?
I'm here, aren't I?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from the Cross Media Show and to the millions watching around the world,
Don't get sued.
let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, thank God he cut himself out.
I was gonna say
talk-
Michael Buffer is calling you right now.
Yeah.
He wants his money.
WandaVision episode 4 was so good.
What was it?
I can't.
Agreed.
I can't. I know. I just did a bit, Ruben. But let's bring it back to seriousness.
Okay.
Episode 4 was really good. So before we get first initial impressions, I am going to read a little synopsis of the episode so everyone knows where we stand. So we remember at the end of episode 3 that Monica Rambeau, Geraldine, as some people may know her as, was knocked out of Westview onto ground, and we see a bunch of sword helicopters approaching her. We don't know how she got there, but boy, did this episode show us. So we start the episode with probably one of the most dramatic things that they could do, and that is seeing everyone come back from the blip, the snap, whatever you want to call it, and that was intense. Especially given how we were shown it in Spider-Man Far From Home, when it was this comedic thing where they're playing basketball, all of a sudden the band just appears and runs into everybody. So it's like, haha, that's funny. Now it's like, oh, this is how people would really act, screaming, panic everywhere. And I thought this was really well done. So, you know what? I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Let's just talk about the episode as we go along. So what did y'all think of the beginning with the reverse snap moment? Ruben, we'll
Chills.
start with you.
Like, no, start with me.
Mel, sorry.
Mel.
My internet, I didn't see that you were speaking until I heard your audio. I'm like, oh crap, I interrupted Mel. Mel, what did you think?
No, I'm just so excited about it. Like, literally going into the title screen, just chills. Like, I was like, all right, let's go. It felt like I was in a Marvel movie. Like, loved it.
It's crazy how you just see like the reverse disintegration and just the appearing every like little bits of puzzle pieces coming together to form somebody. I thought that was really good. I thought it was really nice to hear the Captain Marvel lines as Monica's coming back. I
Yeah.
thought that was a really nice touch. So coming back to Captain Marvel, as Mel was talking about earlier. I thought that was really nice with this one. So, Aaron, what did you think?
Yeah, the unsnapping as it is, that was, I thought, the coolest thing, and Mel kind of nailed it. Like, that was the first time I felt like I was almost sitting down in a theater watching another Marvel movie for the first time. And after a year of no Marvel, like, man, it was definitely a let's go moment. I had chills. I hated how Spider-Man handled it, that they just kind of made it a joke and moved on. I wanted to kind of see this like concept of the chaos of what this would actually be like. And then her like discovering what's happened as she's walking in the hall and like still not really putting any pieces together and running into people and people just appearing in front of her. And then her knocking the guy over and finally seeing the doctor and it all clicks. Yeah, no, I thought it was really, really well done on how they decided to handle that and show us how she got to where she is.
Okay, first of all, Spider-Man Far From Home did it phenomenally, okay? The band coming in while they're playing basketball, perfection. And I won't have you tarnish.
Yeah, I'd love that in a Will Ferrell movie.
No, I won't have you tarnish Spider-Man Far From Home.
I think it makes sense because Spider-Man Far From Home was this fun, quirky teenage movie.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like super serious.
Exactly. It brings a whole
Serious
new
moment.
meaning to that one time at band camp, you know?
No, oh God, Ruben, this is not 2007.
I'm
okay?
just saying
We're
we're
not doing this.
Okay, all right. No, but definitely I was the one time I decide, hey, let me watch this on my iPad instead of my TV because for some stupid reason I decided to do that. I hated it. I hated that decision that I made, not the episode. I loved what they did.
It sounds like it's on you guys.
Yeah, it definitely is on me. No, it was a great opening. I did think like we spent a little too much time with like the blip stuff happening with her, but of course you got to make sure people know what the hell happened with the blip. Yeah, just the whole thing, the whole snarkiness where she goes into the office for the first time and the security guard goes, hey, obviously you don't work here if the badge doesn't work. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then the guy comes over and tells him off. And it was just really great. I liked it a lot.
I think it's interesting how, especially that one doctor who she was trying to get help, he's like, I've got to call my wife or something like that. I don't know. I didn't check. You guys just recently rewatched it. Did he get brought back or was he
I think
already
he
there?
was realizing people were returning and he was trying. I bet his wife was snapped, was kind of the impression I got when I rewatched it today.
Me too.
And so it was like sorry, literally nothing else happens. I need to call and see if she's back is kind of how I took it.
Interesting. You think that he left her cell phone in the exact spot that she left? I don't know. I don't know how the blip really works. Like if they also brought.
It could have even been his kids.
Well,
That's true. That's
Ruben, to answer your question, this was used.
Yeah, no,
and it would snap.
Yeah, I
And
get
then
that.
everyone disappeared.
Yes, but
So
my
that's how
question
the blip
is,
worked.
did they all disappear? Let's say if I had a cell phone in my pocket, did the cell phone also disappear?
Yes.
Oh,
Because if
okay.
you think about like Spider-Man's armor, that's all just tech on him, right? And he
This
faded
is
away.
true. This is true. Okay, then never mind. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was nice to see like a real human moment right there, like people freaking out of just, oh my God, all this craziness is happening. People are coming back. Oh, my wife, like it's been 5 years for him, but 3 seconds maybe for her. So I thought, like Mel said, like this was a really, really well done beginning. And it seems like for most people on the internet, everyone enjoyed it. Yes, Mel.
Also, just the fact that the hospital was like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? Because you figure there's probably patients that they deemed dead that are coming back, so like filling rooms, and now they have all their current patients. Like the hospital was just in chaos for that reason, and I liked seeing it go slow and like take the time to go through it like it really was a movie scene instead of like flashing through it quickly and saying it's a TV show, we got other stuff to do. Like I don't know, I really liked being in that moment with them.
Yes, Aaron.
I like this format of raising your hand. To your point of like, it's only been 3 seconds for the wife. I thought that same realization for Monica was just really interesting to watch, as like her panic was actually not people suddenly reappearing. She's like, I can deal with that later. Where is my mother?
Yeah.
Like when I closed my eyes, I was in a chair next to my sick mom, who I just got a great report on, and I need to find her. So I liked that she also wasn't really dealing with the chaos. She had like a straight priority because, again, she doesn't know that she's been gone for 5 years. So I thought that was also really interesting to watch. Like, you got to see both processes of how people were dealing with what was happening. You got to see it through the doctor's eyes of like, you've been gone for 5 years. And then you're also seeing Monica, who doesn't even know she's been gone. She thought she dozed off.
Yeah. To Mel's point, I did want to point out, I'm pretty sure there was a doctor that said, we don't even have any more beds for this, which was great. That's all I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope someone secretly would have been like, man, I am a doctor and this sure is strange.
That was a really bad one.
Ah, Doctor
That
Strange.
was a really bad one.
So after Monica returns to Sword, she finds out that she has been grounded by the acting Sword director on on orders from her mother, which I thought was nice, and it was good to see that Monica's mother was the one who I am drawing a blank on her name. Does anyone remember the mom's name? Maria
Maria.
Rambeau. Yes. It's nice to hear the director say, "Yeah, when your mom made Sword." I thought that was really cool. It was cool to see nice little Easter eggs of Maria's name being Photon, her nickname being Photon, which is what Monica uses.
Yep.
The moniker sometimes. I thought that was really cool. And then we find out she's got to go to New Jersey, of all places. I mean, am I right, Ruben?
I can't
Jersey.
decline to comment. Okay.
And so she gets to Jersey because missing persons report, the sentient weapon organization research division, I believe, because it's different from the actual comics version.
Yes.
We get sent on a missing persons case in Jersey. So we get there and we're introduced to our favorite FBI agent, Agent Wu, which I'm so glad he's back.
Me too.
He was
I love
such a
Jimmy Woo.
joy.
I got the greatest tweet that came out today by Stephen Ford. An entire Disney Plus show about Jimmy Woo just working weird cases in the MCU, like a fun X-Files. Make it happen.
I would watch it.
I would watch the living shit out of that.
100%.
And I thought it was really nice. So my wife didn't notice it for the first time, but he does the card trick that Scott taught him. I thought that was really cool.
I missed that.
I did miss that too.
Yeah, if you notice, he does the card trick that he was taught, and I was like, oh, that's just a fun little Easter egg right there, where it's like, if you know the MCU, if you love the MCU, it's just fun little things like that, just callbacks to a very fun movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I enjoyed that very much. And then we get really X-Files here, as you were saying earlier, where Westview doesn't exist. This isn't real. Like, I'm from Eastview.
Yeah.
By the way, Ruben, is that a real town, Eastview?
I don't.
I don't have Jacob
How
Porter
the
on the
fuck
line
should
right
I
now.
know?
I can't really tell.
All right, let me look that up.
But anyway, yeah, that's when it started to get really weird in this episode, where these guys are like, yeah, this isn't supposed to, I don't know what this is. And so I thought it was really cool to, we've been dealing with this weird show with WandaVision, seeing all these weird powers, but then we get this real, actual human element of like, this town, these people, they're not supposed to be here. And it's just like, oh my God, yes, there are real people that deal with these situations, not just superpowered gods with powers from Infinity Stones. Like, and that's what I think the most important part of this episode was. It was good to see behind the scenes. It was good to see the people that make up all these Marvel divisions and stuff, how they reacted to it. But it was then that Monica sees like the force field, and it was kind of crazy how she was just drawn to it. As someone who's deals with all this stuff, you would think she'd be a little more cautious with approaching a weird energy field, but she just goes through it.
Because why not?
Well, it almost seems like it pulls her in.
Well,
Like,
she had put her hand in,
Yep.
and then
once she gets the hand in, it like
pulled her in. Yeah.
Which is weird to me because she like gets like at first she has complete control and then she falls in, but then if you jump to later in the episode when he's crawling through the sewers, like there is no resistance, no nothing. He's just
he just
walking
keeps
through
going.
the
Like his clothes just change
It's because it's underground.
Of course.
Yeah.
naturally.
Yes. But it was also cool to see the helicopter drone that we saw in episode 2.
Yep.
That was the one right there. So after that, when Monica disappears, Sword just takes over the place. And we see everyone's favorite astrophysicist. Well, if you like Natalie Portman, if you like Jane Foster, sure, but everyone's favorite Meow Meow. Darcy comes back, and I'm so glad she's back. She was so fun in both the Thor movies she was in. So I'm glad she's back. I'm glad she has her doctorate. Hell yeah.
I
love that one part. It's like, Miss this way. It's like,
yeah. It's doctor.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Ruben, help me out here. What happens next?
They have her do a couple tests, and she finds out that there is I forgot what it was called, but it was some radiation in the background, and she realizes that she can use the old-timey TV, and there's a picture.
Yeah, she finds cosmic radiation, and she says it's not at a dangerous level yet. And then one of her other scanners picks up like a high frequency wave, like laying over the top of that radiation, and that's when she realizes she can use the TV.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it got really weird and meta at this point,
Right.
where you have all these people watching this show, just like we're watching the show. It's so like the members of this universe are kind of like the audience in this scenario. They're watching this with us, so I thought that was really cool. But we're getting about halfway so far. Aaron and Mel, do you have any thoughts so far? I realize I've been talking for a long time. Yes, Mel.
I realized this like a little thing that shouldn't matter, but it was neat that this one doesn't have a theme song. Like obviously it's not a part of the TV show, but like doesn't say WandaVision anywhere to acknowledge the TV show. Like it's just the Marvel credits, and then we're in the real world. Like this isn't the show anymore. So that was cool.
Interesting. I didn't even realize that.
I don't like Kat Dennings at all in Thor 1 or 2. But I really liked her in this episode. I actually felt like they redeemed Darcy for me. I just think she's so over the top in the first 2 movies, and like I just don't care a lot, to be honest. I'm way more focused on like Natalie Portman, and I just didn't ever think she ever really brought a lot to it, to be perfectly blunt. But no, I really enjoyed her in this, and somebody needs to get her damn cup of coffee. She asks like 4 or 5 times, "Where's my coffee?"
She's a doctor. Get her coffee.
Aaron, I'm glad you said it, because I can't stand Kat Dennings.
She just doesn't do much for me.
She's
just in general, Ruben,
Yeah,
or
just
in these.
Continue in these.
I stopped now because I'm very upset I'm cross with you right now.
In
Here on
general,
the Cross Media Show.
Yeah, in general, I don't find her funny. I don't find her like a good actress. Quite frankly, you know what it is? I think it's because she looks a little too much like Hilary Duff. That could just be me.
Me and Mel just made the exact same confused look.
It could be me. That could be me. Listen. That could just be me. But I for some reason she reminds me of Hilary Duff, and I don't know. I miss Lizzie McGuire, you know.
When I watched this the first time, like with Darcy's character, some parts I felt like, oh, it's a different beat, it's a different tone, and it stood out. Like it took me out of it a little bit. I still thought it was funny, but it definitely like took me out of the show. But watching it the second time, when I knew like that's the vibe, like it flowed a lot better. Not that that's a compliment to the show, because the first time's the most important, but like yeah, I feel it too. It's just totally different from what we've been seeing all season, and it's a different energy.
Yeah.
So
I'm going through the credits of Kat Dennings, and I gotta say, like, Nothing's
Broke
really
Girls?
jumping out at
Come
me.
on,
I didn't
like-
even really like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Although I do love Charlie Bartlett. Shout out to Robert Downey Jr.
Miss Dennings, if you're watching this
Yeah.
show, I just want you to know you're great. And if you
But
want to be on the
never
show,
come out on the show
sure
ever
she's
again.
Wonderful human being. I
Yeah.
just tend to not enjoy her the things she's in.
it's all
fine.
good.
Yeah.
So afterwards, we see that Agent Wu and Darcy start doing what pretty much the audience of the MCU has been doing, and start getting on whiteboards, starts writing questions. Like, I enjoyed the line where she said, "Okay, is it just me? He is dead. Like, he's not blipped. He died, right?"
I really liked that because for some reason I like this idea of like this acknowledgement when we talk about these real world characters now knowing about these very super powerful beings. And yeah, it probably was reported at some point that the Avenger Vision was killed. And so that was just kind of a like, oh, right. This thing that happens to this core group of people known as the Avengers does actually affect the rest of the world. So yeah, I really appreciated that she stopped and also called that out. Like, he's not blipped. He's supposed to be dead.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the show handles it, because it's like super, like they're definitely pointing it out to the audience too, because like if he was dead and Wanda brought him back, you'd think Wanda would have like full control over his actions, but she doesn't. Like when he's in the show, he's trying to figure things out, realizing Wanda's not okay. Like he's clearly got his own sentience going on. So I'm really curious to see what that means for Vision going forward.
Especially, not to jump ahead, I know we'll get there, but that shot of him still being very dead, which I love when a show can get me to react like physically, and I audibly gasped when they first turned and it was his corpse. I was like, oh. So I'm also very curious to see how they're going to handle this, because you're right, it's not like it's just a direct figment of her imagination. He is asking questions, he is noticing like the guy cutting into the wall in episode 3. So it's what is going on with Vision.
So the theory I had last week was, I think one of our guests had pointed it out that Vision was using super speed to get the doctor to bring him over to the house when she was delivering the babies. And somebody had said, I'm pretty sure that's not one of Vision's superpowers. So I think what it is, it's half that it is Vision as like a past memory for her, but it's also her like subconscious wondering like what the fuck is going on, you know? Like whatever she needs at the moment is what he can do.
I could
Possibly,
see
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, more of like a split personality at this point, right?
Yeah.
That's the part of her that's protecting her from allowing to like deal with the fact that Vision is dead. So she has just recreated him, but it would break her own illusion if she was just controlling him. So it's just like this separate conscience that's taking off. Yeah, I dig it.
And so I like I said, I enjoyed that, like seeing Agent Wu right on the board. Is Vision alive? Because these are questions that we have asked as an audience. And then stuff like the hexagons. What do they mean? Of course, they could be a reference to, Wanda's hex powers, or it could be, in the very first second episode we got the beekeeper, and this could be AIM again. We don't really know. Because AIM, beekeepers, honeycombs, whatever you want to call it, these could be just little call outs. So don't know what these hexagons are supposed to represent yet. But it was also nice how they started putting together that these are actual people inside Westview. Like they put like, this is the driver's license. This is them. These are actual live people.
I like how one of the people that they pointed out, he's like, Herb has been, this guy has been casted for Herb, as if they were actually talking about the TV show.
Casting language was really, really interesting. Oh, this person's playing this person.
Yep.
Yeah, I did appreciate that as well, that how they chose to like make their language a little bit more like filmy was fun.
That's one of my favorite parts of the episode, when they're picking the people up.
Absolutely. It was a really great part.
And it was interesting they didn't say anything about Agatha. I was trying to look the second time, like what was on her page to see, because I have a feeling this part's going to be relevant coming back. And also there was some theories that Herb was like someone in the comics, but no, he's just John Collins. So sorry, everyone.
But yeah, you make a great point. If you look at Agatha, or I forget, Abigail, is that her name on the show?
I don't think so. I think it's.
I think it is Agatha, isn't it?
Or Abigail.
Something like
Either way, you don't see a driver's license.
Agnes.
You don't see a driver's license for her.
Yeah.
We don't know who she is. And of course, we'll get into some theories a little bit later. But it was also nice. I did enjoy the meta joke when Agent Wu looked at the screen and go, why would someone make a sitcom with 2 Avengers? I enjoy that line because like they literally made that.
Yeah.
And I like how Darcy's referencing, like, look, she's done 50, she's done 60. What is she doing here? What is going on? And so they start to notice that Monica Rambeau is inside on the TV. They're like, what is she doing? Is she like infiltrate? Does she know what's going on? And I thought that was really neat. And then we get to the point. Let me make sure I got this correct. Yes. So we get to the point in the episode where we see what happens in that confrontation between Wanda and Monica. And we see like the actual thing that's going on. And so she mentions Ultron. Whoops. We have a glitch in the Matrix right here. Something is happening. Wanda knows like, oh, wait a minute. Someone outside's coming in. She was like a white blood cell, and Monica was the virus in that regard.
That's why it weirded me out that it pulled Monica into the field. Only because from what I can gather, it seems like Wanda has literally just created this entire thing. So you would almost think it would be more resistant to somebody coming in from the outside versus pulling them in. But again, if we have this concept of a subconscious trying to do different things and trying to figure it out, and it's also maybe trying to actually help Wanda deal with all the things she's clearly hiding from in this bubble, then maybe that was right. The body kind of fighting back a little bit, if you will, pulling in an outsider to help try to break that illusion. Yeah. Also, do we think Dottie's important or no? At this point, she was super important in episode 1, and now she's just been gone.
That was another thing where you see her paper. I think they showed her paper when they were showing all the castings, and I didn't see anything for Dottie.
Yeah,
who's Dottie?
The lady in charge of the
party that when the radio's going off, she's like, you know how to get a blood yeah. She seemed like she was almost going to be like the villain of the show in the suburbs in that first episode. And now we've just kind of ignored her. So I wonder what her deal is.
It makes you wonder, was she on the board?
No, I don't think so.
It makes you wonder if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, making everybody think Agnes is actually Agatha, when in reality it could be her.
Yeah, it could be, possibly. Yeah, I thought that was really good. There was also a moment.
Can we talk about that scene? Can we talk about the scene with Wanda and Monica?
Oh yeah, I'm about to get to it. I just want to make a quick reference that when they're watching the show, there are moments where we as an audience saw what was happening, but Darcy and them did not.
Yeah.
So like the moments with like cut hands and stuff, they didn't see that on the screen because we already knew that as an audience what had happened. I thought those little moments were good, but Mel makes a good point. Let us get to the best scene in the episode, where it was insane, because if you look at Wanda right after she pushes Monica out, she's got that Age of Ultron look where she's using her hex powers or chaos magic. And and it was interesting, after she did it, she like looked at her hands like, oh God, what did I do? I thought that was great. And then going to what Aaron said earlier, seeing Vision dead, that was a shock. That was truly a shock.
The Monica scene was amazing. I loved all of it. I loved that we went into HD and no longer had like this kind of old feel to it. We went into a full aspect ratio. It suddenly made her realize that she was doing things in a very real world. I think the magic in her checking her out, like you said, she like looked visibly shocked. I think it was also this sudden realization that she's not where she's supposed to be, and she wanted to pull right back in and get back to TV land and get back to her safe space. And I think that's why when she saw Vision, it almost looked like she had to shake it off. And what is she shaking off? Is she just getting the illusion back? Is she needing to refocus her powers to make sure that she can stay in this safe space? The show is making me think about mental health a lot, which I think is really cool. People like to write off the Marvel stuff sometimes. It's just like these big blockbusters or whatever. But this idea that she's been through literally so much trauma in the last, however long since we've introduced her into Age of Ultron, that now she's just created this entire fake reality to just hide from and just protect herself from for a while, instead of like dealing with the wounds and the trauma of everything that's happened. So I don't know. I think they're going in a lot of really cool places with how this is all working. And like I said, it was like when she got that visual of reality, her brain was like, no, let's get back to TV. And she fixed Vision, right? He was like, what's wrong? And he's obviously this grayed out corpse. And then she like looks down. When she looks back up, he's fine. So there's obviously a lot going on up here for Wanda.
Yes, Mel.
Yeah. Also, like, okay, I want to talk about both of them, but Monica first. Like, there was theories that she went in intentionally. She was gonna try and fix things. So people, like, in my head, I was like, oh, she brought up Ultron. Maybe it wasn't a mistake. And like earlier in the show, when she's like, what are you doing here? Like, you were thinking, oh no, like Monica slipped up. But no, like those are just more glitches in it. So there's a point where Geraldine's all like actually genuinely like, what? No, I'm just your neighbor. Like, that's not Monica pretending. That's Geraldine in the show being like, no, what? I'm normal. Like, it's fine. And then, yeah, with what Aaron's talking about with Wanda, like where we left Wanda, like 3 weeks ago, she just got blipped back in front of exactly where Vision died with literally nothing left in Wakanda. Like, so she's probably coming back with all the Avengers around her and like whoever else left. And they're probably like, oh, we got to go back to the galaxy, or we got to do all this. And Wanda's probably sitting there like, where the hell do I go? Like, she literally has nothing in that moment. Like, she could go back to Avengers like headquarters. Well, I guess actually no, she can't. But like, yeah, she has nothing in that moment. So what she do? She goes to New Jersey, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
why
know.
not?
That's a really good point, Mel. That's not something I've actually really thought about. Like the end of Endgame, she had to help save the universe. She literally gets to look Thanos in the eye and say, you took everything from me. So we know she has nothing left. Now we have no Avengers. Cap went back in time to go start his life over with the love of his life. Tony's dead. Guardians are gone. Thor went with him. She's just like, that's cool, I guess. I'm going to go start a sitcom in New Jersey.
She's got Winter Soldier
really
and Falcon.
impressed.
She's got Winter Soldier and Falcon. That's all I'm saying.
No, they had to go make their own show.
Yeah, Ruben.
You're right. I'm sorry.
They're doing who knows what.
How could
we'll
I
find
forget?
out in March.
You're right.
I think this show, Aaron brings up a good point. The MCU has not really done trauma that much. Like, the only trauma we really got was Tony's PTSD in Iron Man 3.
Or
And so,
Yeah.
Yes.
Eric.
Ruben. So anyway, I think it was really good because she's also lost her brother. So like when you mentioned earlier, I think me personally, like we discussed last week, I think that was her subconscious remembering Quicksilver, Vision being able to run super fast. Like, she's lost her brother to this Infinity stuff. She's lost the love of her life to this Infinity stuff, and she does not know what to do. And she is the most powerful thing in the universe. So I think it's really good, and it really teaches everyone that it's really hard to let go.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you have to try. And I think it's really cool to see Vision, like Mel was mentioning earlier. Vision he's noticing something's up. And I think even after, like, she comes back after the corpse moment, he's like, we don't have to stay here. That was me telling, like, Vision is like, I know I'm not real, okay? We can go anywhere. Do you want to stay in New Jersey? So,
she says, no, we can't, which was like so powerful because she's like, no, we can't go anywhere. Like, stuck here kind of thing. Like, not that they're actually stuck, but mentally she's stuck.
Well, I think it's
Yeah, this show
mentally.
is some really. Sorry, Ruben, you go.
Well, I think it's just that it's mentally that they're stuck there, but also like Vision is. There's no way that she can keep up that appearance for Vision, like in the outside world. That's all. That's all I have to say. Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, just same
And
thing. I think when she says she's stuck there, like she is literally mentally stuck there. She's like, if I go,
Yeah.
this all goes away, and I have to start actually dealing with all this shit that's happened in my life. So this is one of the better like messagings that I think Marvel's done, and I'm sure if I go back and watch, I would find a lot of these layers throughout the movies when I pay attention to them. But this one specifically, I've just connected with the theme so well of what we do to protect ourselves mentally. So yeah, it's been crazy.
I think I noticed. So I went back and watched the first episode, and the scene when Mr. Hart is choking, I thought that Mrs. Hart was looking at him the whole time, and I realized she's looking at Wanda the whole time, saying "Stop it." And it's got me thinking: these characters, these cast members, are they being held here against their will? Or has Wanda just plucked them out from reality, or is this a case where they know exactly what's going on, and Wanda's, if you mess this up, I will
no.
destroy you.
I
No, I
think.
think she's controlling it.
Yeah, I think she just plucked them out from their everyday lives, and this is what they're doing now.
Mhm.
Do we know if they're all from that
And I think-
town?
No, they're not. They're all from
No.
Jersey.
Because it would make sense
My
to me.
theory is that they're all in that town. That
Yeah.
she went and like established this show and put this bubble over it, and anybody who lived there is just now a part of it. That's how I kind of took it, but we don't technically know if they're all from there. No.
And this episode really led to some crazy theories of is Mephisto going to show up? Because we've seen this stuff where Wanda, what she's been able to do, and just fix some stuff here, move some stuff around, call some red powers and stuff. But is she powerful enough at this moment in time that we are aware of to create this whole entire illusion, or does she have help? Is she being controlled like a Sith Lord from the side going, ga, 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 do this, da, da, da. And so that was my Palpatine impersonation. Thank you very much. What is, and this is just theories. I'm not saying this is what's happening, but it could be an interesting thing that my personal thing is I think Mephisto has Quicksilver and Vision in hell. And there's going to be a thing where Wanda has to choose. Because I think Quicksilver is going to show up in the show at some moment in time. That's me personally. I think Aaron, they're going to get him come in for an episode. He's going to show up, and that's going to cause Wanda's walls in her head just to crumble down, and she's going to go, bah.
Interesting. You think that's what's gonna happen? That would be really, really good if they managed to pull that off without anybody actually knowing that it happened.
They've done crazier stuff.
They have.
They literally did the Infinity Saga. So I mean, they can
I mean,
they can do the Lord of Hell.
They literally killed off Iron Man, but yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is Wanda's story. I think that even though we're talking about it like within the context of the movies, that she didn't really have anywhere to go at the end of this, from an actual film and storytelling standpoint, her arc didn't get to end. And so like I would be okay with that, but I really think that this is all her, and this is really them helping her close her chapter in the Infinity Saga. This is like a really good epilogue chapter that's just focused on Wanda. And I hope that's kind of the route they actually go, is her like really starting to accept and move things. What that means for her in the MCU, like does she get to come back? Do we have new stories to tell with her later? Or is she going to just like leave this whole thing once she kind of closes this chapter on her life?
The babies come with her when she comes out of this world? Or
I think they do.
No baby.
You think they do? You think those are...
I have
She manifested real life into her?
I have a theory that those kids are the beginning of the mutants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's interesting. They released like a 1 minute teaser for the next few episodes, and there is a moment where like Wanda and Vision are like squaring each other up. So I hope there gets to a
Oh.
point where like Vision is like, you have got to stop this. Like, I am dead. You have to stop. She's like, nope, I'm not doing it. And Wanda could become bad. Like Griffin said in the last episode, it would be really cool if Wanda became bad and she's the villain in the next Doctor Strange movie.
Oh shoot, I like that actually a lot, and that actually like kind of bookends her whole journey.
Yeah.
That could be really interesting. I will say,
She is
and,
bad in this episode. Like, was a villain in this episode, 100%.
yeah,
We feel sorry
when
for her.
she chucks Monica. That is a bad moment.
I don't know if it's a villain moment, but I think it's just her protecting herself, you know? Like,
Sure.
nobody told
Isn't that what
Monica.
villains?
Yeah, but nobody told Monica to fucking go through the the thing.
Nobody told her to say Ultron,
Yeah,
break the illusion.
Exactly. This is her fault.
And we still have to find out if Agnes is gonna, or one of them is gonna be Agatha Harkness. It could be a red herring the whole time. That we think, oh, this this witch is gonna be teaching Wanda how to use her powers, but it could not. Like I said, Wanda could go bad. We don't know, and that's what's so great about this. We don't know. Even the characters in the show. I like how Jimmy, Agent Woo, and Darcy were like, "Is it a pocket dimension? What is it?" We're like, "We don't know what this is," and I think that's really great to show that we don't. I'll say it again. We don't know, Ruben. We don't know what's going on.
You're absolutely right.
And
This is definitely one of the first times Marvel, I feel like, has just kept me on my heels the entire time. Like, I agree. I just genuinely don't know where they're going, but in such a good and exciting way. And also, I mean, we know Marvel messes with trailers to throw people off. Like, are we going to get that moment with Vision and Agnes where she says, "Am I dead?" It's like, no, why would you be dead? She's like, "'Cause you're dead." Like, was that also just to throw people off? I kind of hope not, because that moment in that trailer gives me freaking chills every time, and I can't wait to see what that looks like. And that could be what triggers the square off that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But either way, man, it's an exciting time to be a Marvel fan and to have this back, and especially after a year off of nothing Marvel.
And as I mentioned on the earlier show, like, remember in the trailers when she says, "This is our home," and Vision is going, "Let's fight for it." Then after this last episode, who are they fighting? Like, is Sword about to come through and about to get them? And Wanda's like, "Nope, we're going to destroy all these humans right here." So I thought it was interesting. But Mel, I see that I cut you off, and I am terribly sorry. What do you have to say?
No, it's okay, because what you said is perfectly relevant. Like, what happens when they rewind? Because what happened to Beekeeper Man? Is he dead? Is he blipped out of existence? Like, that was weird that he didn't come back and they rewinded. Like, he's just gone.
Yeah, and we don't know at the end of that
Excellent
episode,
point.
like, she just flashes and they're back in the house in episode 2 when we see Beekeeper Man.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I love weird stuff. I love alternate dimension, pocket dimension stuff. Oh my god!
I do.
cannot
This
wait
show
for
is as
Multiverse of
trippy
Madness.
as I wanted it to be when I first saw the trailer. I was like, oh
Absolutely.
god, I hope this show is just weird.
Yes.
And it is, and I love it.
I love how weird it gets. All the stuff. I'm just so happy that this was a show and not a movie. You know, like, I think this
Same.
was definitely the right call to turn this into a show, just because I don't think a lot of people would have gotten this if you translated it to the big screen. But you know,
I
that's
agree.
just
This needed to have its time to breathe and move through the decades. and-
yes, have people think
Yeah.
of, oh, well, what do you think is going to happen next episode? I did want to just get back to one thing. Eric, you had said that they had put hexagons on the board. I know this was a while back, but I think it was just the shape of the reality bubble.
Yeah, like that. It looks like a hex, but also, like, in the comics, Wanda's powers are like hex powers.
Okay.
So hexagonal stuff like that. And then I
The
also
AIM
saw another
connection.
theory.
Yeah, but I don't
saw
think.
another theory where it's like it's 6 sides and there's 3 hexagons in this 3-dimensional space. So 666. I thought that was a fun theory of, like, bringing Mephisto into it, which means everyone, boys and girls, we need to bring Ghost Rider back, which means someone give Nicolas Cage a call. He's the
Again,
only one that's going to be able to stop
Nick
Mephisto.
Cage is no longer the MCU's.
He's the only one that
Yeah,
can
even
walk
by
on both
canon, they
worlds,
have a
Ruben.
different Ghost Rider.
That's what
now.
I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Hold on, I'll deal with the devil after I steal the Declaration of Independence.
That's a really great
That was
Nicolas
actually a really
Cage.
good
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, Eric.
So
It was so much better than your Palpatine.
I know, that's why we got Will Beeman. Will Beeman is the master of all Star Wars impressions, so that's why. But oh god, I love Marvel. I'm so glad. And just we're not even technically halfway done yet, which is really exciting. Not even halfway done with the show.
Yeah.
How many are left?
There's
5.
5 more.
Yeah, did we get 10 episodes?
Oh, I thought it was
9.
like 3.
9 episodes.
Yep, we get 9 episodes. We got 9 episodes here, and Falcon and Winter Soldier is 6. So they said Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be like 6 50-minute episodes.
Good. That's what we need.
Oh my god, I need Falcon and Winter Soldier right now. I
we
need
have-
some Captain America stuff.
What was that?
2.5 hours left of this. Like
Maybe.
they've got a full movie left of WandaVision to make some stuff happen.
Yeah. I do want to pose a question, to the guests, because I think me and Eric have already discussed this on the show. Aaron, what do you think the future of the MCU looks like? What are you hopeful for?
Oh, that's a good question, and one I ask myself often after the Infinity Saga wrapped up. The Multiverse of Madness, I think, is going to be really interesting. I have a theory on where we're going with Spider-Man. I think Multiverse of Madness introduces that for the third Spider-Man movie. I think that's where you get him over to Sony. That, not to make it into a business too, but I do think that dictates decisions on where these universes are going.
Yeah.
I think you kick Tom Holland over to Sony through the multiverse in his third and final movie. And then what I would really, really, really want to see is that we get 2 or 3 movies in Sony's universe with Tom Holland, but you give them Miles Morales and you establish this mentor relationship with him and Miles. And eventually he says, okay, you have this New York. You can save this New York after they take on the Sinister Six or whatever. And then Tom Holland comes back into the MCU is what I'm hoping for. And we get to continue to see him and Doctor Strange and what the Avengers look like in this like new realm. But I also really think I hope we're headed for Secret War. So I would love to see that. There's now rumors that Chris Evans is in talks for maybe like a one and done movie. That's a perfect way to do it. Is bring him in through Secret War. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah.
And then just start establishing new stories and new characters and growing the ones that we still have. I think we'll slowly start to see even more of a passing of the guard, even more than we did with like Tony and Peter. Thor's stories are gonna wrap up at some point. And is Thor Love and Thunder that? Is that where we're gonna establish Lady Thor and have these new stories to tell over there? So that's the best I can give you is my theory that the multiverse is going to be opened, and that is going to make things go crazy because then it's endless amount of possibilities. Not to mention, how are we bringing in the X-Men? How are we bringing in mutants into this world? Because that's super cool that they can do that now too.
I agree.
I don't know. It's an exciting time.
It is.
But they also have huge shoes to fill after the Infinity Saga, which is an incredible feat of 22 movies.
And I think they've already kind of proven that, right? Like, this
for
show has definitely lived up to the hype. This is not a new Marvel movie every week, but it's like little crumbs leading us into something greater. And I'm very excited for it.
I'm kind of bummed that the next Marvel movie is Black Widow. I'm excited to watch it, but it just feels so inconsequential compared to WandaVision, which is now pushing forward a post-Endgame era show.
Yeah.
We do have Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is dealing with the ramifications of Cap leaving. Black Widow just being this like past movie, it just feels odd, I guess. So I'm excited to see more of where we move on from Thanos and what that looks like.
They should have swapped it with Spider-Man Far From Home.
Totally agreed.
Yeah.
Mel, where do you think the MCU is going?
I don't feel qualified to answer this question. I am very, very new to the MCU. Like, I just, other than seeing Guardians 1 and 2 in theaters as like a casual viewer, I started watching all of these movies with Kind of Funny leading up to Infinity War. Like, that was my first time seeing like everything except for the 2 Guardians movies. And then I watched them all again before Endgame. So I feel like I've caught up. I kind of know what's going on, but I know nothing about like the comics or anything. But I do like that now with the shows, they don't need to do 22 movies to get somewhere good again. Like, it's a way to fast track that process. We can do less movies and still have amazing stories. So I'm just happy to be along for the ride.
And that's a good mindset to have. I know we like to think about these shows like what kind of topics they deal with, but they're also just fun rides. And sometimes it's good to remember that. Sometimes it's good to remember, hey, this is just, hey, sit on your couch or when you're laying in your bed, press play, have a fun time. That's what these can be sometimes. Now, 2 things, Ruben, I'd like to say.
Yeah.
One is MCU related, one is not.
Okay.
One, I just saw on Twitter that apparently Ryan Coogler is making a Black Panther TV show for Disney Plus,
Okay.
which is really, really cool. I would like to see that. 'Cause
Wait.
Wakanda is great.
So does that mean they're still doing Black Panther 2?
It looks like they're still doing Black Panther 2, but they're also doing a
Technically,
TV
it's
show.
Wakanda series. They did not say it was a
Black
Black Panther
Panther.
series. Not to call you out.
Okay. Because that would make more sense. I don't know.
I need to be called out if I say something wrong, Aaron, so thank you.
No
Yeah.
problem. I think that this is going to be their way of maybe raising up Shuri to
Yeah.
take over the mantle, something like that. But they did very explicitly say it's a Wakanda series coming to Disney Plus, which is still dope as hell. I'm excited for that. I love Black Panther.
And 2, I just saw this, and it's not Marvel related, but it's important in the world of nerddom. The Resident Evil
Yeah, I
Village
was gonna mention this.
developers have officially stated how tall our new favorite vampire lady is. And with her heels and her hat, she is
9'6".
9 feet 6 inches. That is
Good
a tall-
lord.
I am ready to be chased by her. All right, all right, back to MCU. Glad we had to get that a little bit out of the way. Does anyone have any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
I
This
just
show
want-
is
Let me
exceeding my expectations. That's my final thoughts. I can't believe that this is as good as it is. And rewatching this episode today just reminded me that, hot damn, Marvel still has plenty in the tank of stories to tell. And I just can't wait to see what these next 5 episodes do.
Mhm.
That's it. I'm done cutting off Ruben.
That's okay. No, Mal, go first.
I think no, this show's been great. I've seen like online everyone likes it, but the non-Marvel fans, I don't know about after this episode, but they're very like I watched it with people that like watch all the movies but aren't as into like the lore, and they were just like, okay, all right, we'll see. And that's kind of the general opinion, which is sad for this show because I hope like the reviews don't go that way, but I'm glad that a lot of people are really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. And I think the future series are going to be better for the casual fans too. Like Falcon Winter Soldier will probably give people the pow that they want. So.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was, that this show was just too weird for people, that they're looking for the action that a Marvel movie gives, and they just haven't seen it yet.
And Wanda's not a popular character, so
I think
like,
Wanda needs her own movie after
no fault
this.
for not knowing. Yeah, like because people don't know who Wanda is, so watching this show, they're like, "Wait, what's she from again?" Which is why they put out the legends and everything. But yeah, I hope they're on board
Did
now.
you watch The Legends?
Oh, is that
just
recap
don't
they do of
understand
everyone?
I think so.
Yeah. They're like, relive your favorite moments from the Infinity Saga. And I was like, I'm going to watch this. And then they're just 7-minute hype trailers about characters. Like, I wish they would dig in a little bit and go a little bit deeper, or make it documentary style and like interview the actors on what they thought about playing it. But no, I mean, it is literally just like 7-minute hype trailers per character.
But that's because it's not for us. Like
That's for people that are
It's not a
gonna
show for
get
us. Like,
into.
It was in the background. The people that I watched the show with right after they watched this, they're like, "Oh, I kind of remember that now. Wait, what movie's that?" And it kind of gets the gears turning. So yeah, that's why we don't like Legends, is because it's not made for us.
And
That's
I
100% fair.
one thing I hope is that they do what they did with The Mandalorian and have like a show dedicated to the behind the scenes of how they made this show. I think that could be really
I would love
cool
a gallery.
because that behind the scenes Mandalorian is fantastic. And especially like maybe interviewing Dick Van Dyke and stuff and interviewing a bunch of people from TV throughout the years and just to see the inspiration where that came from, I think that could be really good. But yeah, it's great that the show is able to bring in hardcore MCU fans, casual MCU fans, and people who are just looking for a good show to watch. So I definitely, the MCU's in good hands. I mean, it was always in good hands with Kevin Feige, but
I have one last thing I wanted to mention.
and what is that, Ruben?
At JBomb11 said really great tweet. First WandaVision, then the SNL. What a great week for John Krasinski. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely right. You know?
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Asian Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, my boyfriend did that to me. He watches the MCU movies, but not as in depth as I am. And he's like, I said, okay, do you know who like Jimmy Woo is? And he's like, Jim from The Office. I was like, no, like the agent, because he's more into The Office than I am. So we had this whole back and forth like over the phone. Like we're not even together
no.
right now. And I was trying to figure it out. He sends me the picture, and I'm like, did you Photoshop this?
Oh boy. Yeah, that's all I had.
All right, everyone, it is time to reach my least favorite part of the show, the ending. But that doesn't mean it has to be all sad. It is time to do some plugs. Aaron, we'll start with you. Where can all the glorious people find you?
Yeah, at Aaron Seaney on Twitter, AARONSEANEY. You can also check out my new show live every single Tuesday on twitch.tv/awesomelyaveragegaming. I just interview different content creators every Tuesday. It's been a lot of fun. Been having a great time. You can also find that page at awesomelyavg on Twitter because the average was way too long. And yeah, I mean, that Twitter is brand new, so definitely go give it a follow. I have an intern running it named Chad. He sucks, but otherwise, it's been fun.
Chad yelled at me last night, everyone. Just so everyone, Chad yelled at me about
I'm surprised.
my playing of the Hitman games. So
Chad
told
is
me to chill, bro.
delightful. Chad is delightful.
Where do
Okay.
you find these people?
Chad's the worst.
No, Chad's great.
And don't forget of your Stadia podcast, Mr.
And then
C.
also, of course, we'll be doing it right after this. Every other Monday, though, typically I record Speaking of Stadia with the most wonderful Jacob Porter. You can find us on YouTube. Just search Speaking of Stadia. We're also on all your favorite podcast services around the globe.
And coming to a galaxy near you. I can attest, everyone, Aaron makes, I don't want to use the word delicious, but I'm going to. He makes delicious content. Definitely check his stuff out. It's really good.
Yeah.
Give
Thank
him a
you.
like.
It's
Give him
been
subscribe.
so much fun doing it. So yeah, check it out.
He
It's
is
a good
he is
time.
one of the best people on the internet now. So follow his stuff. And going to the other side of the room, Mel, tell the lovely people where they can find your stuff.
Yeah, I rebranded. I don't use my last name on Twitter anymore, so I'm at Internet Mel on Twitter. I fleet my tweets there, which is, you'll see. And thanks, Ruben, for the support.
It's just such a great.
Also, what's kind of cool.
Continue. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. What's kind of cool is Aaron and I did a little show this past week where we just talk about us and how we met through Kind of Funny and why we were feuding on Twitter. So that's out there, and it was a lot of fun to make. So
Yeah, that show is called Give Me 20. You can find it through the Awesomely Average podcast links. We just put it there. It's me and Mel. She came up with the name, not me. Genius. She called it just bonus content because we'll be putting out these 20-minute episodes kind of whenever we have time and when an idea strikes us. That's funny. And that's why we call it Give Me 20. Whatever happens at the end of 20 minutes, we cut it off right there. We don't even care if it's super awkward. We're like, well, and that's our time. Have a good day. So that's a lot of fun. Check that out. Mel is hilarious and fleets her
hoping-
tweets. Hysterical.
I'm hoping to do some like comedy sets in there. I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Please do. You have wonderful comedic timing. Like, it's insane. So WandaVision's right here, everyone. Mel Fleets her tweets right here. That's what we're looking at right now. So please follow Internet Mel on Twitter. Watch her fleets. Watch her tweets. Just give her support and love because she deserves it. She's great.
She's a wonderful
Both of our
human being.
guests are great this week. I cannot stress that enough. They are both positive forces in the community, and we are lucky to have them on this show. Ruben, why don't you give this channel the plugs?
This week, we are doing Attack on Titan, the final season, episode 8 tomorrow. We might be doing a Penultimate Conquest podcast episode this week. I don't know. We'll see. I got to double check to see if there's content to talk about. Probably Stadia stuff that might help. Yeah. Aaron, I'm asking you on live. I was going to say live television. On the show.
I know my intro made it seem like we were on live television, Ruben. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I can understand.
Well done. Will you guys come on the podcast?
When is it?
I don't know. Whenever you guys can do it.
Oh, yeah, hit us up.
Okay.
If Jacob, I'll at least
too?
come in. I always have thoughts on Stadia and what's going on, and everybody needs to know the sky's not falling. But yeah,
Okay.
slide into those DMs after this.
I might
Absolutely.
be able to get Fiona on as well.
I can pull some strings there too if I need to.
Okay.
If you-
I'll be Jacob Porter if you need me to be.
Okay.
Just go find some construction paper. And make yourself a
Exactly.
beard.
Yeah. That would be perfect
You
if
know.
you could do that.
So
Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much it. We also
yeah,
did.
everyone, don't forget to like, follow whatever the button is on Twitter is for the Penultimate Conquest. Do there. I am Eric Segan on Twitter. Hit that follow.
But wait, Eric,
there's
there's
no
more.
subscription on Twitter, so don't do that.
But wait, Eric,
what,
there's
Ruben?
more. We
I-
also
I was
did.
kidding.
What?
What?
I said there's one more thing I forgot to mention.
What?
We did a special first episode of Tower FM Radio today.
Yes,
That will be
our
live
new Destiny
tomorrow.
show, Tower FM Radio. Myself and Ro on Twitter, Ro. Make some Destiny content. Looking forward to that. And remember, follow us on Twitch at Penultimate Conquest. Follow us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, Penultimate Conquest, and go to our website, penultimateconquest.com. A little light right now in terms of game stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully get that up soon. And I would like to apologize because I believe as though my internet has been the cause of all of these what appear to be interruptions. So I hope you all don't think I was just interrupting you for the sake of it. I truly did not seem like you guys were talking, so that's why I would start. So
That's
you
totally
gotta love
fine.
them internets. Gotta love your internet service providers. So anyway, thank you all for being here. I was very happy. Very can't say words. This is a very good episode to do. And until next time, true believers, we'll see you then.